Hello, lovely subscribers, and anyone else who might have found this because they also love lavender perfumes. I hadn't realised until relatively recently how many perfumes I have in my collection that have lavender in. Now, once I realised that, I kind of started actually trying some more lavender out. But beforehand, I think I hadn't realised just how much I tend to fall in love with perfumes that have lavender in. Now, when I was young, my mum used to really like the smell of natural kind of aromatherapy lavender, and I used to hate it. I'd be like, oh no, ugh, it smells like old ladies. It's like an old people's home. Like, that's just, I mean, I was young and I was stupid. But I really didn't like the smell, and as a kind of an essential oil, it just smells a little bit medicinal to me, and it's not kind of my absolute love when it's in its purest form. However, when it's mixed with something sweet, and especially something sweet and a bit creamy, I absolutely love it. Now, I think lavender is often in male perfumes, and sometimes it doesn't turn up as much in women's, but well, that's what I thought anyway. And then suddenly I have all these perfumes here, so many things to talk about that I'm going to have to do this in two parts. So this is part one, and this is starting with probably one of my earliest loves in terms of scent. I had the shower gel of this, I'm pretty sure, way before I had the spray. So this is Twilight from Lush, and this is a perfume that I just love the smell of this. However, disclaimer, I don't really wear this on my skin. This is a body spray that doesn't particularly work that well on my skin, but it is, how to even explain it? It's one of my favourite just general smells. I love it around my home. I use this on my sheets. You can't see because it's see-through, but I've not actually got much left in here, and I reckon this is maybe my fourth bottle, and these are 200ml. So I use them on my bed a lot, and I use the shower gel, and I love how this smells. So as you can see, it literally says dusky tonka, lavender, ylang ylang. And this also has, I think it's something like cinnamon. I think that's, and also it lists on Twilight, for Grande it lists benzoin. And benzoin is something that I get almost gingerbready scent from when it's in perfumes. So this has a warm, spicy feel about it to me, but it's also a very strong lavender. There's a creaminess from the ylang, and then obviously a lot of creamy sweetness from that very, very strong tonka. It is so calming and soothing. It's beautifully sweet. Like I said, I just love this one. It's on my pillows, on my sheets. I love it. I have to say, the current formulation of this is nowhere near as strong as it used to be. But I just love this perfume. I think Twilight from Lush is one of the greatest lavender scents of all time. So, in terms of things I do wear to bed, I have two lavender perfumes that are currently living next to my bed. And this one, you will see, this one's nearly done. This is Chill Out by Oriflame. This is from the Feel Good range. It's got this cool bottle. This colour, exactly right for how it makes me feel. This, I would say, is a very, very close relative of Mon Guerlain. So it only lists lavender, vanilla and cedar in this, and it's definitely vanillic. It's more of a vanilla sweetness than a tonka sweetness in this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a mixture of both. It's got a stronger lavender than Mon Guerlain and a slightly stronger wood, but it also has a little bit of a sense of something slightly licoricey, the way that there is in that one. But it's a bit sheerer, it's not quite as creamy, a bit brighter, and therefore really, really an easy to wear at night time and for bed. This is one I wear on my skin. I love how this smells. I've not been very well recently. I've had a horrible cold, and I have been reaching for lavender because it's so soothing and comforting. And this, again, I've been hammering through this. I just love this perfume. I think this is amazing. It's a bit harder to get now, unfortunately, but you can still get it on eBay. That's where I'll get a backup bottle from, because this is not going to last me a huge amount of time now. I don't spray Twilight on my bed sheets when it's hot weather because it's very, very kind of thick and sweet. This one's a bit lighter, but next on the list, I have, it's only a mini, but I am planning to get a big one. This is relatively new to my collection. And this is a tiny bottle of Yardley, and this is English Lavender, and it's the contemporary edition. So Yardley is a famous cheapy perfume brand in the UK. And I say cheapy, I'm not being disrespectful, they're just literally cheap. A full bottle of this full price is about £12. And they're, I think, 50ml. You can get, for about £15, you can get 125ml bottles. Now this almost smells like a tea perfume to me. And I find that the main notes in Yardley Lavender are chamomile and lavender. So this, the full set of notes are clary sage and bergamot in the top, and then lavender, violet, chamomile, eucalyptus, geranium and jasmine in the mid, and then woodsy notes, patchouli and vanilla in the base. But essentially, to my nose, this is a really natural smelling lavender with a lovely kind of almost chamomile tea scent. There's definitely a little bit of sage, maybe some eucalyptus. It's not sharp, so I feel like the vanilla is kind of sweetening up, but I wouldn't have been like, oh, it's vanillic. You do get, when you first spray this one, a little bit of an indolic smell from that chamomile. There's a slight urinal scent, but it doesn't last, and when it dries down, it's just one of the most comforting, kind of sheer but perfectly balanced lavenders in my collection. It's so easy to wear. I had this on and my husband gave me a hug and he told me I smell nice. Like, he actually really liked the smell of this. I think he likes lavender as well, but this is, you know, again, it's not really like, I mean, Yardley has a bit of a reputation for being an old lady kind of perfume house, but I think that this one is a beautiful bedtime perfume, a really nice relaxing perfume, and because it's quite sheer, you could just wear this at any time of the year and I think it would be fine. Definitely this is one that's going to get a big bottle in my collection. Next up, this one's very new and it only just came out quite recently. This is so random. This is Wildly Me by Florence by Mills. Now that is Millie Bobby Brown's, I think it's like a skincare and makeup range. So I only realised that this one had come out because I was looking at lavender notes. So I bought this one. Now I'm just if this was just like this, I'd think this bottle was really cool. There's something really nice about this frosted look. I really despise this font and this pattern. I think it makes it look cheap. And to be fair, it is quite cheap. She's done this at a really affordable price point, and I really appreciate that. So I think, let me just check this. I think the lid is, yeah, the lid is plastic. The bottle is glass, and it's got this kind of slightly purpley colour for the sprayer. So I was like, okay, this is really inexpensive. I think you can get this in the UK for about £25, like full price. But I got this second hand. So someone had bought it, they weren't keen on it, and I thought, okay, I'll grab this on eBay. It was going for a steal. So this does not smell anything like I imagined it was going to smell. So I don't think this is one I'm going to actually keep, but I did want to talk about it in this video because I've not seen hardly anyone talking about this. And the people I have seen talking about it have not described it the way that I feel it smells. So again, like, I can be quite fussy. I have, obviously everyone has a different nose, but to me, Wildly Me is a bit of a surprise. So the notes here are clary sage, pink pepper and bergamot in the top, lavender, iris, violet, wisteria and flowers in the mid, sandalwood, cedarwood, amaryllis and cypriol oil in the base. Now, this is really strange because I think I'm the only person who seems to think this, but Wildly Me, to me, smells like Ariana Grande Thank You Next, but with lavender in it, with loads of lavender and a little bit of sage. So it's like a more herbal, more aromatic smelling version of that perfume. It has the same kind of fluffy, almost coconutty, almost texture to it, with something that smells sweet and fruity, but to me does not smell like bergamot. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from this, and I'm also getting a lot of aroma chemicals. It doesn't list having ambroxan, but I'm pretty sure that this has something like that in, because when it dries down on me, it becomes quite uncomfortable to wear, and I have a real problem with ambroxan turning things screechy. But this is really quite sweet. The lavender note in it is nice. But like I said, like I have Thank You Next in body spray form, and I don't like this more than any of my other lavenders, and I don't like it as much as Thank You Next. But weirdly, that's what I'm getting from this one. That is the closest thing I can think of to describe how this generally smells, but then with a massive dose of lavender in it. I do like the lavender, but overall, this is not my favourite. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to mention that I had it in this video because obviously lavender perfume. I'm sure loads of people will love that one. It's just not my jam. This one is though. All right. So this is, to my nose, a mixture of florals, sage and lavender. This is American Cream by Lush. So this is a quite strong actually and very sweet perfume. It does have a bit of a Lush smell, but I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's got a creamy sweetness. When you first spray it, it definitely smells like a Lush shop. The people describe this as a strawberry milkshake. I very much disagree. There's something slightly powdery and chalky about this, and it lists some things on Fragrantica that I don't think it mentions on Lush either. So it says there's honey, and I don't think there is honey. There might be some kind of scent that's supposed to smell like that, but if you actually look at what's in it, it has clary sage, it has vanilla, it has benzoin, lavender, it's got coumarin, it's got anise, and then it's got some essential oils, some that you get something like cinnamony, some are floral, some are woody, there's violet and iris, there's also like a rosy scent in there. So my description of American Cream is that it smells like candied flowers, so violets, rose, iris, and then quite a decent dose of lavender and sage, all sitting on a bed of white fondant icing. I know that might sound mad, but that's kind of the vibe that this one gives me. It's incredibly sweet, slightly creamy in the dry down, but without being, to me, lactonic at all. I really do think it's more of a white icing kind of smell. And it has a kind of powdered sugar sweetness about this. But it also has, like I said, a slightly chalky texture, and definitely has those lovely aromatic-y, herbally smells, along with some very pretty florals. So yeah, if I often wear this when I want a violet perfume, but there's definitely a lot of lavender going on here, and I think it's sort of very girly, very sweet, super pretty. It's one I like a lot. Talking of one I like a lot, I'm sorry to say they don't currently sell this. They did tell me they were going to bring it back in the spring, but I haven't seen it. And I love this perfume, and I really hope they bring this back so other people can experience it, because it's rather expensive to get it on the grey market. This is Terra De Lumiere, or Lumiere, from L'Occitane en Provence. This is a lavender and honey perfume, and it is rather magic. So this does actually get also compared to Mon Guerlain, but I don't think this smells like Mon Guerlain at all. I would never compare the two. I think this has quite a different vibe to it. I think the overall smell is very different. And I think that the honey and lavender are by far the strongest things in this perfume. So you've got ambrette, pink pepper and bergamot in the top. It's really interesting having that musk mallow right at the top, you know. Ambrette has this kind of fluffy, yummy, cozy smell about it. Again, almost a bit of a texture. And then you've got honey and lavender in the mid, and the base notes are tonka bean, bitter almond, acacia and musk. I believe Acacia might be a kind of polleny sort of smell. I'm not entirely sure. Someone I'm pretty sure has told me before and I've instantly forgotten. But there's definitely something slightly almondy. The tonka makes this very sweet along with that honey. And it is a very, very, very honeyed perfume. But that lavender is so pretty. This is one that I like it from the bottle, but I love it on my skin. This smells so beautiful. It's also, it's so sweet that I thought maybe this would be a winter perfume, but actually it does smell very nice in warmer weather as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you see it for anything under about £60, it's good enough to spend that much money. When people are asking for like hundreds of pounds for it, then you'd have to really love it. But if you can get minis of this quite easily, and I just think if you love lavender, if you love honey, you deserve to have at least a little miniature of this because it is so beautiful. Let's hope they bring it back, because the Terre De Lumiere, the L'Eau version of it it's not the same. It's a very different perfume, and it doesn't have the lavender and honey, which is what makes this so magical. But yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous perfume. One of my faves. So then we have, this is just, I mean, what a classic. This is the Nivea perfume. This is the Nivea Creme perfume. So they also have Nivea Sun, and Nivea Sun obviously smells like the Nivea Sun cream. This one smells like the blue Nivea, the beautiful creme. Now I have been using Nivea Creme for, I mean, it's spelt creme. Most people say cream, but it is spelt creme. So you'll have to forgive me going in between the two. But I've been using Nivea, the blue Nivea, as my family call it, since I was literally a tiny child, and I still use it today, and I'm nearly 43 years old. So it's got such a lovely scent, and they've really captured it in here. It's obviously much stronger in here. It's far more powdery in this than it is in the cream. But this is top notes of lavender, bergamot, mandarin orange, middle notes of freesia, lily of the valley, ylang, and rose, base notes, powdery notes, and sandalwood. But there's definitely a very noticeable lavender in here. It's very soothing. It really does smell like the cream. So if you want something, it's another one that would be great for bed if you like that smell from the blue Nivea. But it's very comforting. It's really cozy. I think they're in different bottles now. I have a feeling that they're round with like a normal lid rather than being the sprayer that's inside, you know. But yeah, internal sprayer, I think is what I was trying to say there. But yeah, this is a good one. So we had to bring this one up, didn't we? Because this has been an absolute smash hit in recent years. I think it came out last year, was it? Was it last year or the year before? Time is going so quickly, I don't even remember. I think this was a 2023 release. Okay, so this is Burberry Goddess. I've just got this tiny bottle because it's so expensive, this perfume. Like, it's too expensive, I feel, for a Burberry. But, you know, that's just me. Designer perfumes have got so incredibly expensive. So, really cute. I like these bottles. I actually like the, what are they called? I like the 50ml bottles most out of any of them. But like I said, this one I got on special from my Origins, and it was like £40 for 30ml. And I was like, I'm not spending anything more than that to get a bigger bottle. Now, you can get refills for these anyway. So if I was going to absolutely cane it, which you can see I haven't, then you can just buy refills, and that's a really good way to get Burberry Goddess. So this perfume is a very, very beautiful, easy going, easy to wear, generally mass appealing vanilla. But it's my kind of vanilla, so it's slightly sheer. It's not overly gourmand. It leans in that direction with the vanilla, but then because of that lovely lavender, it's not entirely gourmand. So the notes here are vanilla, lavender, cacao, and ginger in the top, and then vanilla caviar in the mid, and then vanilla absolute in the base. I get quite a lot of that ginger here. So I get a bit of lavender. I don't find the lavender in this one massively strong, but I do know that depends on who's wearing it. Some people get it just a bit. Some people don't get it at all. Some people get it really overpoweringly strong. I am one of those people who just gets it a bit. I get a hint of lavender, not too strong. I get a ginger that's almost like a fruit. Like, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some kind of fruit in here, probably something like pear. It has that juiciness to it. It has a warmth to it, probably from that spice. But I also get a real woodiness going on here. And there's a slight bitter ginger peel smell that I get when this dries down, which I don't mind. But it's definitely like an interesting note that stops it being one-dimensional vanilla. And then I definitely get some cacao when it dries down. This is just one, my husband likes this. I think everyone likes this perfume, really. Some people think it's a bit basic. I don't agree at all. I think it's really pretty. I think it's easy to wear. I can understand why people really lost their mind over Burberry Goddess, because I do think this is one of the nicest and kind of easiest, not too challenging perfumes that has been released in the last few years. That's how the gold looks nicest against my terrible lighting here. But yeah, so this is a good one. It's not massively strong in lavender though, so it's probably quite a good gateway drug into the whole lavender world. Okay. Oh, what a strange little perfume that I do think is kind of wonderful though. This is my tiny little baby bottle of Covet by Sarah Jessica Parker. So Covet is a really weird perfume, but I happen to think it's super pretty. Now, I got rid of my massive bottle of this. I had 100ml, but there was no way I was ever going to get through that much because I also have a rollerball, a 10ml rollerball. So I found this little 30ml. This is the old formulation. To be honest, I don't find it completely different or much different at all from the new formulation, because the big one I had was the new formulation. It's got this really strange squat little bottle and then this strange little lid. This is such a weird perfume. I'm going to spray it out a little bit. Okay. Woo. Yeah, super strange, but I do think it's rather amazing. It smells quite niche, this one. It's much more challenging than something like Burberry Goddess. So, Covet by Sarah Jessica Parker has notes of Sicilian lemon, lavender, dark chocolate and pelargonium leaf in the top. I never know how to say that. Middle notes of lily of the valley, honeysuckle and magnolia. Base notes musk, cashmere wood, teak wood, vetiver and amber. This is lemon, lavender, dark chocolate and honeysuckle to my nose. There's definitely some woods going on here. I would have guessed personally that it was some kind of sandalwood, but as you can see it's cashmere and teak. It's definitely musky, but the lemon is so obvious in this perfume and it doesn't seem to die away, which is quite rare for a lemon perfume. So you get that citrusiness, but you get beautiful lavender. You've got a little bit of wood, and then you really, really can smell the dark chocolate in this. You can really smell it. And I think, yeah, from the florals, the honeysuckle is definitely the thing I'm getting most here. This, I won't lie, is one of the more challenging perfumes that you're going to see for the lavender perfumes. It's definitely unusual. I actually have a perfume that smells a little bit like it, but not entirely, because it doesn't have the chocolate and it's not as citrusy. It doesn't have such an obvious lemon. But I have one that has the dry down of the two are quite similar, but the other one's kind of easier to wear. This is not for the faint of heart. If you don't like perfumes that are a little bit unusual, you probably won't like this one, but there's something I find really magical about this. It's got a lovely lavender and lemon to the extent that's in here. Then with that chocolate mixed in is really unusual, and it's pretty and it's very, very affordable. Yeah, quite a strange one, but kind of beautiful, you know. This is one that sadly discontinued, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to keep this because I find it to smell like a body lotion, but there's something about it that's really a little bit, lovely, and it has stayed through a few declutters. So this is Burberry Brit Rhythm, not Rhythm Floral. This is the original Rhythm. This is a lavender perfume that smells very much like a body cream, like a lotion. It's very, very sweet in a sugary way. It's musky, it's floral, but it's definitely got a lot of lovely lavender going on here. Yeah, it's super pretty, and it's actually surprisingly comfortable, but it's another one I can't wear in warmer weather because it is actually so sweet. It's strong and it lasts forever on me. So if you can find a bottle of Burberry Brit Rhythm, I do think it's very comforting, it's cozy. If you don't like body lotiony perfumes, you might struggle with it. But the notes in this are lavender, pink pepper, neroli and aldehydes in the top. So orris root, petalia, blackberry leaf and orange blossom in the mid. Base notes of musk, woodsy notes, vetiver, cedar and coumarin in the base. There's a lot of coumarin. It's really, really definitely very sweet. It's slightly powdery, it's slightly soapy, but it's mainly lotiony. It's like a creamy body lotion, so creamy in a non-lactonic way. Yeah, there's something very comforting about this, and it does smell, it smells like a kind of cozy embrace from someone who's just put lotion on, you know. It's really pretty. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised they don't make this anymore, but yeah, this is my tiny bottle of Burberry Brit Rhythm. Then we have, okay, I had to mention this. I don't have the real thing because it's expensive and it's not my favourite. But just on the odd occasion when I fancy the profile, I have the Rive dupe called Destinee. This is a dupe of Libre. Now obviously Libre by Yves Saint Laurent is a very famous lavender perfume. I also think that it's quite a hard to wear perfume. It's obviously incredibly popular in all of its forms, and I know lots of people love it. This is one that I have to be in a very specific mood to wear because it is very, very strong and soapy. Even this Rive copy, which I'd say is probably somewhere between the original Libre and Libre Eau de Toilette in terms of like how it smells and like the strength. But yeah, because this one's definitely a bit sheerer, it's not quite as thick as the original. But the original is so intensely soapy with the orange blossom and jasmine, and it can be very, very screechy to me. So I prefer this Rive version. I think it's easier to wear. I think it's a bit less screechy, probably just because it's not so strong. But the notes for the original Libre, which is pretty much what they've got in here as well, are top notes of lavender, mandarin orange, blackcurrant and petitgrain in the top. Middle notes of lavender, orange blossom and jasmine in the mid. And then base notes, Madagascar vanilla, musk, cedar and ambergris. There's definitely a lot of sweetness, but the jasmine and orange blossom are very, very soapy and can be a little bit head-splittingly sharp sometimes, even on top of that vanilla. But I really like the lavender in this, and I like the kind of vanilla they've used. I like how musky it is, but it's very intense and soapy. I would say the nice thing about, I mean, like I said, Destinee by Rive is an easier version of Libre. But the original Libre, I do think it smells very, I think it smells slightly mature. You know, like, it's just like, it smells grown up. It smells like a boss lady. It smells like someone in a suit, being a boss, classy. It's a very dignified kind of scent. But yeah, it can be, I think, a little bit difficult, and it's quite strong in the lavender. I definitely have more lavendery perfumes in this because I feel like the orange blossom and jasmine are so strong in Libre. All of the incarnations of Libre I've smelt. The lavender isn't the main thing here. But yeah, I mean, I had to mention Libre really, didn't I? Because I know it's very, very popular. Then this is this is random. So I have here this is Sugarful Dream by Michel Germain. So Sugarful Dream, I did have a full bottle of this at one point. This is the Sugarful that comes in the blue bottle. I basically took a decant because there was no way I was going to use a 100ml bottle of this particular perfume, but I kept this one. I sold on the big bottle. I just kept a little decant because this is a really strange perfume. So if you know what the original Sugarful smells like, it smells like kind of sour or like what's it called? Like sour strawberry laces or something like that. It's like it smells like candy, but with that kind of acidic sugar mixed in as well. Now, Sugarful Dream is blueberry version of that, but it also has lavender in it. So it's got like this strange combination of a blueberry version of Sugarful, which very much smells gourmand, like sweeties. Very sickly to me. I also have a decant of that, and it's not one that I ever wear. This one, though, starts off with that kind of super sweet and sickly thing going on, but with a very nice blueberry note, to be fair. And then it dries down into smelling kind of like a mixture of that with some kind of clean laundry or something. It goes kind of clean. It's very light compared to the original. Doesn't last anywhere near as long. It's nowhere near as strong. But it has this gentleness that the original does not have. So the notes here are blueberry, strawberry and pink grapefruit in the top. And then the mid is lavender, star jasmine and passion flower. And then the base, vanilla, musk and amber. The lavender is subtle here, but I think it's what gives it a slight cleanly and cozy scent, mixed with the passion flower. I don't really get loads of jasmine here. But yeah, I do think this is quite an interesting and youthful lavender. It's an interesting way to wear lavender because it doesn't really smell like any of the other lavender perfumes here. But yeah, I think Sugarful Dream, this is a fun one. It's just a fun one, you know. And honestly, there's a part of me that regrets getting rid of the bottle because I do think these bottles are super cute and kitsch. But yeah, I think it's kind of a pretty perfume. I quite like this one. So then let's look at this guy. I only have a sample. So this is R.E.M by Ariana Grande. I only have a sample of this perfume because, unfortunately for me, every Ariana Grande perfume after Moonlight, I think, so basically from Cloud onwards, they all have an aroma chemical in them that smells like tar to me. And R.E.M has quite a lot of that chemical, which is a shame because everything else about R.E.M I really, really like. It's a very pretty, easy to wear lavender perfume if you don't get that same problem with the aroma chemicals in it. So the notes in R.E.M, Zephyr, caramel, salt, fig and quince in the top. I think Zephyr is like like a Middle Eastern kind of version of like a what's it called that's in a pavlova, a meringue, like a kind of meringue. So then you've got middle notes of lavender and pear blossom and base notes of musk, tonka bean and sandalwood. And this is just a really pretty, creamy, it's got this really interesting kind of gourmand element to it from that Zephyr. And the salt balances the caramel really nicely. It's not too floral. It's got a lovely lavender. Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that this has that tarry aroma chemical in, I would have a bottle of this. I did actually have a bottle briefly that I gave to my sister because I couldn't wear it. But yeah, I think R.E.M's are really another one of those very approachable, easy to wear, pretty, girly lavenders that aren't too challenging, aren't going to cause too many problems. Yeah, but yeah, sadly, I just couldn't wear this one because of the aroma chemicals. Then let's just finish with this random little guy. So this is called Petite Lavande, Petite Attitude Lavande. This is a perfume from Avon. I just bought this one when I was doing another little haul of Avon things, when I was testing out Avon to see how I get on with the house in general. And I don't get on with the house in general. Unfortunately, I don't get on very well at all with Avon. Their perfumes for some reason just don't work for me. They have this, how would I even describe it? I think there might be some kind of aroma chemical going on here, which I find a bit confusing, because Yeah, there's just something sharp in these perfumes that I cannot get along with. So this particular one lists lavender, pineapple and bergamot in the top, middle notes of vanilla, rose, geranium, cyclamen in the mid, and then the base is musk, cedar, patchouli and amber. Yeah, there's something in here that really bothers me and puts me off, and I don't really know what it is. Um, but it smells cheap to me, and again, you will see from my perfumes, I really love a good cheapie. I do not have any problem with perfumes that are like a tenner and under. I've got loads and I love some of them. Some of my favourite perfumes only cost about £10. Hello, Elizabeth Arden Green Tea. But for some reason, Avon, in their house DNA, I can't deal with it. I find them a bit head splitting or a bit screechy, and this is both of those to me, which is a shame because it's also got a very natural lavender in it. And I would say, I originally I was thinking I would use this one on my sheets, you know, it would be really good for bed, but it just turns out that unfortunately this does not work for me. If you get on with Avon perfumes and you like the idea of a very, very natural smelling, you know, like a essential oil lavender kind of perfume, then this one is going to be right up your alley. Yeah, for me this one doesn't work, but I think it's super cute, and you know, I tried it. I'll pass it on to someone. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna finish there on this video, and then I'm gonna continue with the next one. So there'll be a part 2 coming in a couple of weeks time. I hope that you enjoyed this, guys, and if you've got any of these, let me know. You'll be seeing some more famous ones in the next one. I wasn't going to put all the most famous ones all in the same vid, so see you next time.